it's Jedi Joey. Welcome back to another video. Now this video is a movie review. Now we are super behind on movie reviews because I was sick and I am just now catching up on my content for you guys. So we're going to dive deep into it today. Now, what I really want to dive into, guys, is something absolutely wild. Okay, so I saw Terrifier 3, and like I said, because I was sick, these reviews are super delayed, but I still think you guys deserve to see them in their purest, highest form. Now, what we need to talk about here is this movie is, look, you need to understand before we talk about this movie is where I'm at with the Terrifier franchise. I think Terrifier 1 is the weakest. I like Terrifier 2 the best, and I think Terrifier 3, you're about to find out. So, Terrifier 3, so we pick up the story. This one is more of a Christmas tale instead of taking place on Halloween. We pick up with Sienna later in this movie, getting out of the hospital and being with her family. We get to see, what's left of her family. She's still dealing with the traumatic events of the previous two films. And nearly being killed multiple times can do that to a person. Her brother is in college, so things are going good for him. Everyone's getting together to spend the holidays through here. This movie has so much about it that I love. But there's some things we got to nitpick about as well. So, there are some very gruesome kills in this movie, so if you're not a fan of blood, this is definitely not the franchise for you. But for the most part, I enjoyed this movie. I don't think this movie has as much substance as a lot of the other horror fans of things people praise this movie. I don't think it's nearly as good as people give it credit for, but I do think it's still pretty dang good. One of the things that stands out to me in this movie is a chainsaw kill in the shower. I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely very bloody. One of the issues of this movie is they said this would be a longer cutout here, but this movie is chopped up so much. People complain about Terrifier 2 being too long. This movie is cut up so much that you're missing points. At one point we go from, okay, we're at the mall, oh, scary Santa scene, oh, crap. Now we're already at the climax? What? But we're missing 2/3 of our movie, which just feels odd in my opinion. I'm not a fan of that style of editing, but hopefully the longer cut will make up for that. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm being very unbiased with this. I'm being very fair with my reviews, and I hope if you guys don't like my review, it's totally okay. It just giving any type of feedback helps the algorithm out a great amount. But what I need you to know is I'm being sincere and honest with you guys. No students paying me off to say this. This is not my favorite horror franchise, but I'm trying my best to review because I know you guys really like these movies. So, in this movie we dive quite a bit more into the story. Hopefully they're saying that the fourth movie we're going to dive more into Art's backstory, which I think we'll get into later in the review. But so throughout this movie, we get some bloody kills. There's this really annoying podcast host that gives YouTubers a bad name, in my opinion. That when she died, I kind of applauded because I was just like, oh my gosh, she's bad. And she didn't get as bad as the boyfriend did in the college dorm that was next to Jonathan. But that's the other thing with this movie. This movie's misleading, right? So they play up the idea of a character who you think is dead and we don't really know who's dead. I'll say this about this movie. My biggest positive is the climax of this movie has the best final fight of the franchise. I really enjoyed the final showdown. I really think it's epic. It's cool seeing how they're using the sword as a MacGuffin of this franchise. I hope they dive deeper into it for the next movie. The cliffhanger of this movie sets up a very worthy fourth film, I feel, as well. I think it's very, very good. I think it does deliver. Vicky's pretty interesting. It's nice having a character that speaks other than just Art the way that he is. But Art is still crazy. The rivalry between him and Sienna just heats up. And it's very amazing. I'm a very big fan of it. I think there's some great moments in this film. I think seeing someone mentally break down from the trauma that they're dealing with, going Christmas shopping, all the things that she deals with, losing all her family members. The relationship between Sienna and Gabby is so cute, and I love how it's portrayed on screen, even in such a terrifying thing, pun intended. The ending of this movie, we lose the girl. She goes to basically hell, where Art is from as a demon, and then we have to go and find. Everything that kind of comes about, which is just mind-blowing in my opinion. I am just absolutely blown away by how that was handled. And then the ending, you have Art the Clown with another person dressed up as Art the Clown on a bus, and you see someone reading Dante's Inferno, which is going to tie into the next one. If you guys haven't read Dante's Inferno, I highly recommend the Da Vinci Code. I highly recommend checking out Angels and Demons, all that stuff, because that's where this stuff is based off. I really enjoyed this film. My problem with this movie is some of the kills are very satisfying. The pacing's a little wonky. I don't like that we jump from this to that. But overall, it's a solid horror movie. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts on Terrifier 3 in the comments below. And as always, I'll catch you in the next video.